connected.
Good evening, everybody. Fixing to leave work. Try out this windshield. Not the windshield, but the brackets. Batzen riser, screen riser brackets. I actually tried it on the way in this morning. It was cold this morning. It's actually pretty cool now, 43. And it made a world of difference, but there was a lot of side wind when I was going down the road, so it was kind of hard to tell what it was doing with all the wind blowing from the side. So maybe it'd be a better test here on the way home. We shall see. And I've got it set about halfway up. You can see. Got it set about halfway up on there, so I could add a little more or take off a little bit, but I can tell a difference. I mean, even at this speed, because on the stock windshield, it would have been down here about 2 inches lower from where it is now, and it would already, I could feel it on my visor up here, buffering, and I don't feel anything right now. There you go, pull out in my lane, knucklehead. Just a thought. Some of these people drive a car like it's an 18-wheeler. Yeah, you can tell a difference at low speeds too. Especially when you open the shield. There's not much wind in my face. The shield's not all the way open, about halfway. But there's not as much wind in your face. Biggest problem is if I'm not dead on into the wind, it's not a very good test. I was looking to see if I can see a flag here to see which way the wind's blowing. There'll be one out here by the four-way stop probably. Because if the wind's blowing real hard from the side, well, the windshield's not going to be a real good test. They need to be head on. And this morning, the wind was coming out of the north. And I was headed east, so it didn't work very good. I got these HJC gloves on, boy, sure makes a difference. You don't want to wear the regular motocross gloves when it's cold. I mean, freeze your hands off. There's Blake. Looks like maybe Blake and his girlfriend. That poor boy's in love, I think. Yeah. See, the problem is it's doing the same thing. The wind's coming out of the north, so on the way home it's going to do the same thing. I think I'll just go north here so I can test it. Get a better test that way if I'm head on into it. Oh yeah, huge difference. To raise up into it, yeah, I had to get up a lot higher before. I just barely raised my head to get into the wind, but now I'm not into it near as bad. That's a lot better. We've gone a little further so I can do a better test. It's not buffering my visor nearly as bad. Your head stays a lot more steady instead of shaking around a little bit like it used to. Still, even with this thing, a stock windshield height on this thing, it ain't nothing like the CRF1000L was bad. I mean, you caught all the wind on that dude. And one thing I noticed about riding in the winter on the Africa Twin versus the CRF1000L, just this fairing and windshield is a huge difference on my legs, the fairing part, and the windshield on my neck. The worst thing on the CRF1000L was my neck would freeze off because it's just so exposed. Well, on this bike, I hardly ever notice it anymore. Now this thing does have a little chin curtain, I guess it's called. It's a chin guard under here on this next helmet, but that just helps from going up in the helmet. It really don't help my neck. It helps my chin a little bit, but that windshield works because yeah, I would freeze on that 250L. It's going to get colder this week. We're going to find out what happens when it gets down to 10 degrees on this bike. I rode my 250L. The coldest day I rode it was 10 degrees, and it was pretty bad. It's it's about 9 miles. I don't know, 8 or 9 miles to work, 10 miles, and that 250L, it was pretty bad. 10 degrees. It wasn't something I couldn't bear, but I'd hate to do it every day. Luckily, here in Missouri, the temperature don't stay one temperature for very long. If we get this kind of temperature, the next day we'll have 60. Next day we'll have 10 degrees, you never know. Got all kinds of little back roads. It still ain't that much further to the house going the back roads than it is down the main highway, but I always like to go the back roads. I'm not a highway person or a town person, so anytime that I can cut through back roads, I don't care if it's a little further, then that's what I'll do. This is not a full-on review. I just want you to know. I mean, I'm just talking about the Batson windshield risers, screen risers, but it's not a full-on review because this is only my first day. I think I need some time on it before I actually say this is an awesome product, go get it. But I believe it's going to be. I have no doubts. It cost me $103 is what I believe what it cost. And to me, it was worth that. Some people think, well, I'd just rather, if I'm going to spend that much, I'll just buy a windshield. Well, the problem with the windshield is, a bigger windshield, you're stuck with what you get. If you want that, that's fine. But I don't want to be stuck with a big windshield. I like the smaller windshield. And I say that, and someday you may see one on this Africa Twin. I may get a bigger one. So I'm that way. One time I might think, well, I don't want something like that. Everybody else thinks that'd be better. I don't want something like that. And then later on down the road, I realized, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that would be better. So I can't say I won't. So, and if somebody sends me one to review, I'll probably put it on and review it anyway. I don't want to not review it if they send it. So that's a possibility. I'm not asking nobody to review one. I like this, and I know with these brackets, it puts my windshield out that way. Probably, I'd say that puts it out there another half an inch. And they put spacers under the bottom. If you watch the video where I installed it, there's a couple spacers under the bottom bracket. Well, I think what that does, it tilts the windshield a little bit, makes it where it's more of an angle. Otherwise, there's no purpose in putting them under there. It would be the same angle as a stock if you didn't put no spacers, because it didn't come with the spacers. So they're putting the spacers under there is putting more angle on the windshield. And that's probably an option. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, you can. I don't have my GPS on there right now. I took it off the other day when I washed the bike, and I forgot to put it back on. Then now every time I go ride, it ain't on there because I forgot. So you get it stuck back on there. But I don't really need it just running back and forth to work anyway. Figured I'd go a little bit of dirt road to see how much it sheds. I don't think it's going to. I mean, to me, that thing feels as solid as it did when it was stock. Can't tell no difference. The old creek is dry, and I do mean dry. No water whatsoever. What a miserable ride home from work. I actually enjoy it. Even though it's cold. 43, it's not horrible. If it gets down to 10 degrees, you just assume go ahead and get on home and get it over with. Cow splatters in the road. You don't want to hit them cow splatters. They make a mess. Especially them juicy ones. I think it's old Hot Girl that runs over them. No, maybe it wasn't. I don't know who it was. Well, that's pretty much the end of this video. There goes a red-tailed hawk. Around here we call them chicken hawk. Red-tailed hawk, some kind of fancy name. But anyway, thank y'all for watching my videos. I got a lot more coming up. Lots of different videos planned, so please keep your eye out for them. Click the subscribe button and click the thumbs up on this video. I'd like to see how many thumbs up I can get. And appreciate y'all. Catch y'all in the next video.